Hey, welcome back to the Golden Spoon Podcast. I'm McCall.
I'm Jeremy.
And today we are going to be talking about bullying. Or tonight, whatever time you're listening. You know, always.
Or if you're blind.
Yeah.
You don't know what time of day it is.
Well, I would hope somebody would tell you.
Yeah.
Don't gaslight somebody. Hey, if you didn't catch us on Patreon, go look over there. Subscribe to one of the plans. You'll get some extra content. You'll even figure out the story of what these are about. So, yeah, if you're watching us on YouTube, you'll understand what we're talking about. But if you're not watching us on YouTube,
that sucks. Go watch us on YouTube.
Go watch us on YouTube because you'll get a little snippet of something new. Or if you have subscribed to TikTok or Instagram, you may have seen it. So let us know what you think about it. I'm not even going to say what it is because you have to find that out for your own. But today or this evening, whenever, we're going to talk about bullying. So you earlier said that you had never been bullied or ever were a bullier.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I didn't have a bully. I probably was like joked about
Or picked on.
Yeah, or picked on, but I never had a bully that like constantly just kept doing stuff to me. Because I was wanted by many and loved by all.
Well, lucky for you. I cannot really say the same. I mean, I was liked by a lot of people, but I was also picked on because I think I was liked by a lot of people. I think I was bullied and like teased and used as a puppet, basically. In high school, it was really bad. Just because like things people said or things people did, it probably started though, like the main thing of me getting bullied, probably about like 6th or 7th grade though. I've always been an overweight person. Like I understand that I'm a larger man, but
can't tell in a black sweatshirt.
I know, right?
Makes you so slim.
But in young, I was always a big kid. I was always the the largest person out of all of us in the grade. So I was always picked on, like, oh, look at Fatso over there. Look at round one or what?
That's it? That's all that's as good as they came up with?
No, there were some pretty hurtful ones like fat fuck, but
yeah.
That hurt real bad.
Blubber butt.
Never called that, thank God.
Planet Earth.
Now, I did have some Yo Mama jokes where they were like, you and your mama look the same because y'all have to have a boomerang to put your belt on, and
dang,
that was real hurtful.
Like you so big you got your own area code.
Yeah. That
You're like, okay, Jeremy, we get it. That's
it's bringing up a lot of memories of like old times. I'm like, yeah, okay. But what do you do?
People walk behind you. Dude, McCall's backing up. Yeah, what do you do? How did you handle that?
I really didn't.
Oh my God. I'm still struggling. Well,
boy.
What should you do, or how could you have handled it?
At some point I was really mean. There were people who picked on me, and I think I broke one of their knuckles, but I just...
they deserved it.
I was done. People were pushing me saying, we need to move this boulder out of the way. Like,
Jesus Christ.
Like a kid pushed me on the back of my shoulder, and I just turned around and I slugged him because like he had been picking on me the entire year, and so I was just fed up at that point, and I didn't know how to go about talking about this to somebody, and then it had to boil, and I had to talk to my principal about this situation, and she had no idea, nor none of my teachers had any idea that this event was going on, that I was getting like
Yeah.
teased and bullied and stuff like that. Like,
And after our generation graduated, I feel like they took bullying a little bit more seriously. And unfortunately, I think a lot of it had to do with teen suicide. Because it got to the point where instead of like what you did, where you fought back, there's some of the ones that just don't. And especially like getting bullied on social media and everything.
yeah, I was about to say it
and
is
being alone in your bedroom.
it has taken a swift turn because you have social media that somebody can hide behind a screen now and you never see their face. You could have a different username or, person you don't even know because you don't know their username or where they come from. And they can just say whatever they want and tag you and, spam you and everything like that. I mean, it's really difficult to think that so many people are mean in this world. I'm just being honest as hell, People can be dicks.
Yeah. Even little kids. little punks, man. Little kids can be mean to a grown man and make a grown man cry. Like, because what they say sometimes mostly the truth, and they're just bringing the truth to the surface, and you're like, God, I already knew that about myself, but hearing it out loud really makes me want to cry.
Yeah, it can get pretty stout with, I mean, kids these days know every word under the book because
and then some. And they're inventing more in the book.
Well, because social media is so quick to spread anything and everything that they could find, and it sucks.
It sucks.
But I really didn't know how to go about talking to somebody. And after that year, I was like, okay, the year is over. I have summer to go off and do things and be alone and kind of just be myself. And then that next year came along, and that person wasn't even in school anymore. So I kind of was able to just avoid that situation altogether, but it was still there. Like, those things were hurtful. I mean, in high school, I remember some girl saying, God, you could fit two people in your pair of pants. And I was like...
And you're like, yeah, me and you both, baby.
Yeah, I wasn't quick with that. That wasn't... I wasn't quick with those responses like that, Jeremy. But that really hurt because I was like, well, okay. I was just like...
You know what?
You do you, girl.
She's probably like... Never mind. I was going to say something really mean.
Is that...
I was probably going to call out a whole bunch of people, so I wasn't going to say that.
I mean, just give me a general idea of what you had as a thought.
I was going to say she's probably some particular dancer having to live off the government because she don't make enough at her job.
I mean, and she could be doing great. I don't hold any grudges towards these people because I think so. Bully. Say that one more time.
Nothing. Yeah, bullying in general, though.
Well, I think bullying comes from bad parenting or things happening at home that they don't want to discuss.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you could have a terrible situation at home and you want to feel like the bigger person and bully somebody so you can have some control or something.
Just like a man who beats his wife, more than likely grew up in a household where they saw their dad beat their mom. And then it's just something of a norm to them. And instead of breaking that generational curse, they beat their own wife. I know that's a horrible example, but
I mean, sometimes you have to have like these like real stark examples to potentially jog somebody's like way of thinking. Like some of these people out here may not even know that they're being bullied.
Some of these people may be a bully.
That could be very well true, and
they don't know how bad they're affecting the other person.
Yeah, it can get really, really bad. I remember the main group of bullies in high school rating girls, like giving them a number out of 1 through 10.
That's like that Facebook movie.
Yeah, well, they were doing it right there in the hallway, and
dang.
And
in front of them?
In front of girls, like
Jeez.
as they walked by, and I was like,
that's
horrible. It was horrendous, like, because they were. Now, I went to school with some pretty ladies, and they were like calling them 1.2s and 2.3s and 4.5s, and I was like, some of these girls are, you know, deeper inside, way more beautiful than what they're saying their number is. And I don't believe in like, oh, rate me out of 1 through 10. That's so like minimal, like, you know, dismal. It's small. Those people.
That's the thing, though. Is like looks is.
Yeah.
Looks is not a yawn. Not just yawn. Looks is, I mean, it's literally just the surface, but I know that's kind of the norm thing to say, but when you really get down to it, after you've been with someone for like a month, you already pretty much know what they look like. The reason you're sticking around is because of them, the things that make them, their personality, the way they handle situations, you know, how goofy they are.
The way they treat you.
Yeah. Their smile. I know that's a part of looks, but, and, you know, you can tell a difference of a fake smile and a real smile. And when your partner is actually smiling and they're happy and you're telling a joke and they're responding, then you feel that. It's a vibe that you have between each other. Those are the reasons you stick with one another.
I agree.
You like to coexist.
Yeah.
It's not with the looks. Social media has just killed relationships.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, they were bullying girls and calling them numbers and being like, you're not the standard I want. You're a 2.
Yeah.
Like, just on the fact of the way they look, you know. And high school is just, it can be vicious. It can be a vicious place. That's why I think when you get into the real world and, like, you have a job with many people aren't doing that. They're not doing that at all. Like, people are humans. They have good interactions. I mean, the people like you work with are so nice. Like, bring you coffee every morning and like have good conversations. Ask you how you are emotionally. Like, that's some legit. Those are some legit people.
Too legit. I feel like bullying now,
that's good.
In
that's
this,
a good yawn.
In this age, like, you know, when you're in your grown up time, I feel like it's more like silent bullying.
Oof.
Like
silent bullying. Explain that to me.
It's like someone wears a new outfit or whatever to work, or pulls up in a new car or something, or brings a really awesome lunch, and you're eating a ham and cheese sandwich, driving a little Honda Accord from 1990, and wearing the same thing that you wore Friday because you forgot if you wore it or not. But then when you see that person on Monday and they have all those luxurious things, you're like, oh man, I need to, you know, better that person. And it's like, and sometimes some people are rubbing it in as an adult. They're like, oh, look at me, I got a new car or whatever, even though they're not saying it. but they're always like bringing it up. They're just like, oh yeah, my car does it. It's like they're wanting to know, or that they want people to know. And now it's not like, straight up saying, oh, well, you're trash or you're ugly or you don't make enough money. It's just like a silent bullying of like showcasing your life to other people, especially on social media. People take pictures of like their house, even though like we know your house is junky and messy and you got unfolded clothes and everything. They push it all out of the way and then they take a nice picture and then post it on social media, and then it makes the other person think like, oh crap, I gotta be like them. They feel that pressure, like that they feel that being bullied, and then they have to go and like one up that person.
So it's a physical show of the goods or things that they have, and it's more like gloating. Like they're gloating about all their things that they don't necessarily need, but that they have.
Yeah.
How do you address a bully? How do you think you would address a bully if you were being bullied? Since Jeremy is just not the type to get bullied. Because I mean, look at that face. I mean, can you just see?
Look at that beard. You actually can't, and you can't see it in the camera because my beard's so black. It just blends in with the shirt. I literally just look like a face floating inside of a sweatshirt right now. How I handle bullying is, I know it's hard to do and it doesn't work immediately, but one, I don't entertain it. And when it gets to the point where that doesn't work, I either go along with it or call myself out as well. And then once they know or they see that it's not affecting me, it's not hurting my feelings, they're like, wow, this guy's not getting upset. We can't really do anything to make him angry or to make him feel bad about himself. So they just stop and move to the next person.
So that leads me to my next question. You have kids in school.
Mm-hmm.
And have they been bullied before? And how are you parenting them through that, if they have?
Oh, I'm telling him to whoop some butt. And he has.
Really?
Yeah, my kid has been bullied. And it's fought back. And
what was it about?
Been suspended for it.
The way he talks, the way he dresses? What?
Just this little punk kid just keeps coming up and like pulling down on their backpacks from behind in the car line and like trying to pull them on the ground and stuff. And like messing with his hair, calling him out and everything. And finally, he just had enough and he fought back.
I would have. I mean, I did it. I mean, at some point, because and it's so weird because
I think he actually fought back when another kid was getting bullied and he stood up for him.
See, that's who I was when I was in high school. There was a kid, and they picked on him more than me. But he was an odd guy. I mean, I knew him. He was an artsy, dark kind of person. He really liked the dark arts and
probably
things like that.
Probably a millionaire now.
What?
Probably a millionaire now.
I mean, he was a fantastic artist, and they didn't understand his style of art or why he had his hair like that and why he dressed the way he did. I mean, they really didn't understand him, and he was an amazing artist. I mean, he recreated Vincent van Gogh's Starry Night like to a T, and he loved to draw with chalk, or not chalk.
Did he cut his ear off?
No, thank God. But he did have a wild haircut, but I don't think people understood him or, took the time to know him. And they just judged him based on his voice, the way he talked, his hair. They didn't really dive deep into his life and ask, hey, why do you like this type of artwork? Why do you do the things that you do? Yeah. Why are you different? What's your home life like? Because you don't get that. People don't ask you that.
You don't know. I forgot where that's from. You don't know. Just a little side note.
Yeah, we can go on a little
Vincent
rabbit trail.
Van Gogh. Vincent Van Gogh. They suspect he was bipolar schizophrenic.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that's pretty
Because
cool.
of his behavior and his art. They believe that he definitely had a mental illness, but they believe that it was bipolar schizophrenia. He heard a lot of voices. He couldn't get sleep at night. He would scream. His neighbors would hear him screaming.
I mean, he did cut his ear off as well.
He did, yep. He cut his ear off. Physical harm. That's one of the things of mental illness. Did he kill himself?
I'd have to do more research, Jeremy.
I can't remember.
I can't either. But what I'm saying is that these people that bully, I think, want to get a one-up on you and want to make themselves feel special, make themselves feel above everything else. And what the...
I don't know. We shouldn't have flipped the camera around because I've just been playing the whole time.
I know. I've been watching.
I can place the mic perfectly around my mustache, so it just looks like I'm this weird figure, and then like I can pop up.
But what was I saying?
Yeah, sorry, people that can't see us. Go watch YouTube. Sitting there goofing off in front of the camera,
popping up and down. But I think they want to get up ahead of people. They want to make themselves feel special. They want to feel in control, in power.
Or if they're getting bullied by their older sibling, they just want to get some of that off of their chest of always being bullied and being beat up, so they feel like they had to replicate it somewhere else.
So they mirror the person bullying them.
Yeah.
And the terrible thing is that we have the power to change how we act with people. And the sad fact is that, yeah, people are killing themselves because they think it's the only option, because they're being bullied. Now, people kill themselves because of other reasons, but...
Killing themselves because they're bullying themselves.
You can be your own bully, and that's a real
deep.
That's a real tough thing. I mean,
how can you be your own bully?
I'll give you an example, not saying it's personal or anything.
I believe it's going to be personal since you just said it's not personal.
But you can beat yourself up. You can actually internalize what your bullies have said and believe it's true, that you're not worth anything, that you're fat, you're garbage, or whatever they have said.
Preach.
And you then...
serious. I know it's so serious.
I know, you're just watching yourself on the camera. And I'm like,
preach! Give it to me. Just give me that good message.
Bro, you gaslighting me right now?
No. I'm
being sarcastic.
I
feel like this is gaslighting right now.
I'm premium unletting you right now.
Thank you.
I'm diesel fueling you right now.
But you internalize what they have said, then you start to believe what they have said about you, and then you become your own bully because you beat yourself up about things that other people have said.
We can go even more. I mean, not necessarily taking your own life, but people who start becoming bulimic, start starving themselves, body shaming themselves because of the way that they're being bullied. Like you're physically bullying yourself.
Yeah, you are physically restricting yourself from...
Man, that's good. I mean, it's not good that you do that, but not you, but anybody listening. But that's a good way of an example of bullying.
Yeah, I mean, there are several ways. I mean, bulimia is one. Gorging is another, if you're a gorger.
Contortion.
A contortionist
those people with, like, the girls who put the things on to make their waist smaller.
A corset?
Yeah, maybe. Probably a bad example.
I mean, they could just be wanting
They're
it.
pretty painful though.
Yeah, that could be a form of torture.
Not that I
I
want
don't
one.
know. I don't know if that's bullying yourself. But there are several ways that you can.
Men shaving their arms because they feel like they have to fit in.
Oh, yeah, that's a weird one.
You're like, that's so specific.
Are you? Do I need to?
No, I've never shaved my arms. Anytime I've lost hair on my arms, it's because I was playing with fire.
Or a knife?
And I've burnt. Yep, that too. Forgot about that.
'Cause
Like testing to see how sharp the knife is. Yeah. Shave my arm off.
Another sign of bullying could potentially be cutting yourself, since we're on the topic.
Self-harm.
Yeah, self-harm could be.
Some people would say it's because they feel numb and they want to feel something. And I agree with that. But like you said, that can also reflect bullying yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, it can. I actually am appreciative of this episode because this allows people to understand why people bully, how you are bullied, the effects of bullying, all the nitty-gritty of that. How do you feel?
I feel
hungry. Can you hear that?
I feel a lot better now at the end of the episode than I did at the beginning. Somehow I feel more educated about the topic of something that I knew I was already going to talk about. Like, we came up with stuff as we were talking about it, and I'm like, you know what? That is bullying. Why aren't people talking about this? In the form of the way that we just described it, like self-bullying. People are calling it self-harm and stuff, but like, if you really, like you were saying, like,
if you really boil it down,
you're thinking about your bully so much that you're believing what they say, and you actually believe that you need to self-harm in order to feel comfort.
Well, one of the hardest things is if you have like a relative or a parent that grinds at you all the time. That grinds at you all the time, and you internalize what they say, and you bully yourself. Because there are, you're
never good enough.
Well, there are people out there who are parents, and they then bully their kids into thinking other things and being other people because they have fully bullied this young child, this young mind into not believing in themselves, not doing what they want to do.
Parents, tell your kids that you're proud of them, even in the small things, because it matters. Trust me. It really matters to hear that affirmation. Those words of affirmation come from someone that they look up to so much. Just to let them know, it's like, hey, I'm proud of you for waking up this morning. You don't have to say that every morning. Just, I'm proud of you for getting up, getting ready for school, and actually wanting to go to school today. Because, I mean, you don't know what's going through that kid's mind. You don't know if he's got a bully at school.
Yeah, most of the time.
Start those small conversations.
Kids don't tell you.
They can lead to a huge impact.
That is very true.
So.
To close.
Yeah, to close.
Don't be a bully. If you are being bullied, please talk to somebody. Go to your counselor. Your school has plenty of counselors to talk to you. And don't think that since you're one little person that you don't matter, because you do, because you're here right now listening. If you are being bullied, don't.
You do matter. And if you're thinking about leaving, don't.
Don't.
Because these two guys right here is going to miss you.
That's right. Remember, always be nice, even if it's hard. Because those times are probably the most sandpaper on sandpaper moments when you have to be nice to somebody that you don't like.
Yeah.
Don't stand in the hallway and rate girls or rate guys, because...
Rate.
Yeah. Rate. Or
yeah.
ATE. Don't give them a 1 out of 10 rating, because that ain't nice. And if you do have a bully, kill them with kindness.
And report them. That's a thing now in schools.
And online.
Anonymous. Yeah, you can. Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. You can report bullying, and I mean, to put an end to it.
Yeah. I think that kind of wraps us up on this episode. Thank you for listening to the Golden Spoon podcast.
I'm Jeremy.
I'm McCall, and hey, I know I said it in the beginning, but go subscribe to the Patreon. Go listen to what we have to say over there, because
yeah, we actually had a really, really good reveal on the Patreon tonight.
Oh yeah, it was fantastic. Go listen on Spotify, Google, Apple, wherever you listen to podcasts. Go watch us on YouTube if you want to see us in a video form. And comment and tell us how you like this episode, or like any episode. Tell us your personal stories if you want us to read them aloud out here. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.